Hello, chat. Welcome back. How's everyone doing tonight? I've got everybody's favorite yandere snow leopard, Hanako, with me again. She's gonna hang out with us tonight. I think we'll chat for a little bit, and then I really want to try. One of you suggested, and I decided we'd give it a shot. 7 Days to Die with Twitch integration. I promise that I have every intention of being a variety streamer. I know we've pretty much only played 7 Days to Die, but it's a game that I'm comfortable with while I try to figure out all the rest of this crap that goes along with streaming. But once I get more used to doing all of the things, we are going to play more games. So, but I did want to try it with Twitch integration. Also, I made some tweaks and some edits in my OBS that hopefully will fix some of the drop frames and disconnect issues that we were having last night. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. Um, so what did you forget, Hanako? Of course I don't have eyes. That's why I'm so terrible at games. So tonight could be pretty interesting because y'all can make or break my playthrough in 7 Days to Die. So um, I do believe that they rein you in a little bit based on the game stage. So you're not going to be able to throw in-game stuff at me on, on day one, but um you should be able to throw some wrenches at me, or maybe you'll throw me a boon one of these times and you'll help me out and save my life or something. Who knows? It'll be a little social experiment. What kind of people like to watch Doc? Um, guys, the kind of assholes that are gonna pick on the streamer, or are you guys sweethearts that are gonna help me out? I'm anxious to find out. I'm anxious to see how that plays out. I just hope it works because nothing ever seems to work on my channel. Anyway, yeah, the stream looks like it's doing pretty good. So, knock on wood. Let's see what happens. You were thinking of a lot of stuff this afternoon because of me? What kind of stuff were you thinking because of me? Should I be scared? If you didn't want it out there, you shouldn't have brought it up on stream. Oh, I remember perfectly. I'm just trying to make you squirm a little bit because teach you a lesson about bringing stuff up on stream unless you want to talk about it because I will absolutely talk about it. I'll talk about anything. I'm a yapper. So, I don't care. Everybody already knows that I'm a degenerate. So, well, I call them like I see them. You're in Discord. You can speak. You don't have to use the chat box. Let me make sure you're actually in Discord. You're not actually in Discord. I lied. Now you're actually in. I still had it set to the
No,
still had it set to the Apokai room. So,
guys, I'm alive now. Hello, everyone. How are you? I got that meme stuck in my head. Fuck, man. So hello.
so
I literally said no, and they couldn't hear me. It's
that,
wild.
that's all right. We got it fixed. It's not going to be perfect every time. In fact, it's not going to be perfect ever, but we're going to get as close as we can. So, where should we start tonight, Hanako? Should we tell some more stories? Should we hang out for a bit and see where the night takes us? What are you thinking? Do you have any questions after our conversation last night?
You mean today?
No, I mean last night. All the stories and stuff that we the stuff that we talked about last night on stream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, my head is in the gutter. I apologize.
I have that effect on
Fucking
people.
damn it! I am becoming a degen. Oh
Well,
god.
that's what happens when you
Excuse
hang
me.
out.
What the
That's
hell
what
did you
happens when
just
you
say?
hang out with Hellspawn like me.
No, 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 no. Repeat what you said before.
Which part?
I think I heard it correctly.
Probably.
I'm just trying to guess. Yeah, but do you have any more stories about like? I mean, you know, that story about beating up, a, your what was it? Do you call it like your comrades or?
Um, no, I didn't beat up any of the guys. I did get punched in the face on the way to Afghanistan. I got knocked out on the plane, for being a smartass. We had just gotten on the plane, and the day that we left for Afghanistan, it happened to be a Friday. And so Fridays, we kinda had this running thing in the unit. Excuse me for 1 second. So we kinda had this running tradition in the unit. We had these things called high five Fridays, and basically we were just, we'd run around high fiving each other because it was the last day of work before the weekend, and we were getting ready to go. And of course, we were on our way to Afghanistan, and we weren't going to have a day off for over a year. And but it was a Friday, and so I was running around, being an asshole, saying, "Hey, high five Friday," and I'd hold up my hand for a high five, and got a lot of ugly looks. Well, I did that to the wrong person, and he jacked me in the jaw and knocked me on my ass. But I had it coming. I deserved it. I was kind of being a smartass. I was excited. I was excited to go to Afghanistan. That was the reason that I joined the army, was to go to Afghanistan, and I waited a lot longer than I had anticipated. When I got into the army, I had a contract for airborne school immediately after basic training. And so I graduated from basic training in December of 2006, and I started airborne school in January of 2007. And so airborne school, I don't know if it's still that way now, but airborne school is 3 weeks long. The first week is mostly just running. They call it ground week. It's mostly just a lot of running and practicing landing because there's a certain way you have to land. See, military parachutes don't work like civilian parachutes do. They are designed to get you from the airplane to the ground as quickly as possible without seriously injuring you. Unlike civilian parachutes, where your landing is comparatively soft. Um, you'll see in the movies they'll jump out of an airplane and they'll hit the ground running, and it doesn't work like that. You hit the ground and you fall over. In fact, they call it a PLF. I think it's proper landing form. Oh, we're losing the stream again. You motherfucker. Let's see what happens. It's trying to not die. Let's see if it survives. It's coming back. We're okay. So, when you hit the ground, you essentially fall over, and then you get up, you pack your chute, and unhook everything, and continue mission. And so you have to learn how to land properly, because if you don't land properly, you end up like me. On the third jump of jump week, which is the final week, the last week of airborne school, is you do 5 jumps, um, from an aircraft. And on the fifth jump, you parachute into your graduation ceremony. They give you your wings, and you're a paratrooper. And I was on the third jump, and I fucked up the landing, and I fucked up my knee. And I tried to get up. I tried to play it off. I get up. I start packing my chute, and one of the black caps comes running over to me, and he asked me, how the landing was, and told him it's fine. Sergeant Airborne, it was fine. And he said, "Bullshit, it was fine. Go get checked out with the medics." And in airborne school, you run everywhere. So I was trying very hard to run over to the little um, area where the medics had been set up. and I couldn't run. I could barely walk. It hurt so bad. So they ended up taking me to the hospital. I had some imaging done. They said there wasn't any tears or anything like that, but there was some tissue damage, and they put me on a 6 month no jump profile. And so I wasn't allowed to jump out of an airplane for 6 months. After that, I wasn't allowed to run for I can't remember if it was 2 weeks or 4 weeks, but I was on a no running profile, and I was on a no jump profile for a period of time. So I got essentially I couldn't finish airborne school. Couldn't finish my last two jumps. Couldn't get my wings, and that was that. And so I met with the CO that night, and he gave me two options. He said, option A is you can go back to your basic training unit, and you can be an airborne holdover in your basic training unit um, for 6 months, and then after that 6 months is up, you can come back and cycle straight into jump week, do your 5 jumps, and graduate as a paratrooper. He said option B is you drop out of airborne school and go to and go to needs of the army. He says if you go to needs of the army, you're going to either go to uh, I can't remember what the name of the base was, but you're either going to go to Germany or you're going to go to Fort Riley in Kansas. So I'm thinking this is the best of both worlds. I studied German all through high school. I was fascinated with Germany as a country. I was fascinated with the German culture, um, and I really wanted to go to Germany. On the other hand, if I had got stationed at Fort Riley, I would be, a couple hours drive from my hometown, and all of my friends that I missed. I didn't get to see them. I'd been in basic training. I missed my friends a lot while I was going, and I would be within driving distance of going to see them, and I'd be able to see them a lot more regularly, my friends and my family. So I'm thinking this is a win-win. It's like no matter which one I go to, I'm gonna get what I want. I'm gonna get, one or the other. So I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, man. Send me needs of the army. I'd love to go. I'd love to go to Germany, and I'd love to go to Riley. Those both sound great to me." So the CO says, "Okay, that's fine." Well, they process the paperwork, and I end up dropping out of airborne school and getting sent to needs of the army. Well, 2 days later, I get orders cut to Fort Lewis in Washington. It turns out that they were starting a brand new unit up there, and they needed bodies, and they needed a lot of them, and they needed them quickly. So instead of getting to go to Germany or Kansas, I ended up going to Washington State, and I was pissed. But when your needs of the army, your needs of the army. They send you wherever they want you to go, and you don't really have any say in the matter. So I ended up going to Fort Lewis, and I ended up in a striker unit. Now, the thing about strikers is strikers were designed, well, they weren't designed for because they're considerably older, but the type of warfare that we were fighting in Iraq at the time is what strikers were designed for. They were designed to kind of fill the gap between light infantry and mechanized infantry. They were designed to get infantry soldiers into the battle zone of an urban battleground of in urban warfare, get you into and out of as quickly as possible to deliver as many infantry soldiers into the battle zone as possible. And they were the new and best thing in Iraq. They were having tremendous success in Iraq, and all the striker units were going to Iraq. They didn't send striker units to Afghanistan at this time. And when I got to Fort Lewis, that was what we started training. We started training for Iraq. They started teaching us how to speak Arab, and started teaching us Iraqi customs, started pounding what they call military operations in urban terrain, started pounding that into our heads, getting us ready for the fight in Iraq. But we were a brand new unit. When I got to Fort Lewis, there was 12 people in the entire company. Now, company is considerably larger than that. There was 12 people in the entire company when I got there. So it took a couple of years to. We didn't have strikers yet. We didn't have weapons yet. Like the unit didn't even exist yet when I got there. So it took a couple of years to get that unit battle ready. And in 2009, very beginning of 2009, we went to the NTC for our final pre-deployment training operation. You go to either the NTC in California or the JRTC in Louisiana, and you do about a month's worth of training there. including a couple of weeks of war games, and uh, and then after that, you're certified. You're officially certified to deploy. So we were on our way to NTC, and they let us know that the brigade commander let us know that President Obama had changed our orders and that we the first striker unit ever in Afghanistan. So, which I was elated about. I joined the army to go to Afghanistan. I didn't really much want to go to Iraq. I knew that that's where the war was, that's where the fighting was at that time, and that's where most of our concentration was at. When I joined the army in 2006, they were looking for bodies because they were in the midst of the big surge into Iraq. So it was very much a um, Iraq was where everybody expected to go. Very few people actually got to hadn't got actually went to Afghanistan at that time. But in 2009, they kind of did the opposite. They kind of the war in Iraq was going exceptionally well. We were winning on every front. They didn't need as many people there, but the war in Afghanistan was rampant. So because of that fact, they said, "Hey, we need to divert some soldiers to Afghanistan," and that's exactly what they did. So they told us just a couple of months before we were supposed to leave for Iraq that we weren't going to Iraq anymore. Afghanistan very rapidly changed the approach to training. We started learning Pashto in an exceptionally crammed um, language class. We had been training for over 2 years for Iraq, and we had 4 months to train for Afghanistan. So it was a nightmare. Very rigorous training course, and then on top of that, they wanted to get everybody home on leave one more time. Hi, Jazz. Welcome back. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I'm just telling some war stories for a little bit before we dive back into 7 Days to Die. We're gonna try that Twitch integration tonight and see if chat give chat the opportunity to bully me a little bit in the game. So, but first we're gonna talk for a little while. Just gonna You was in the war? Yeah, I was in Afghanistan. I served in Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom in 2009 and 2010. So, um, so yeah, uh, we get back from the NTC, which went horribly because we had been training for Iraq, and then all of a sudden we were going to Afghanistan. So it didn't go very well, and we weren't feeling real good about ourselves at this point. Hanako, if you're sleepy, go to bed. You don't have to hang out if you don't want to. I will understand completely if you decide that you want to go get some rest. And the plus side to that was our deployment got pushed back a few months. So I actually got to turn 21 before I deployed to Afghanistan rather than turning 21 in Iraq. So which was the plan because the deployment got pushed back a few months. I actually got to turn 21 and enjoy being 21 for a couple of months before I had to go to um whether that was a good thing or a bad thing remains to be seen because I did get into quite a bit of trouble once I could legally. But that's a story for another day. So yeah, we loaded up the strikers on the ships and they sent them to Afghanistan, and then a couple months later we followed them out. I deployed in July of 2009, beginning of July 2009, um, and uh, and came back at the end of July 2010. So um, I got to I was that was the reason that I joined the military. I joined the military to fight in Afghanistan. So the fact that I got to go there when even under the circumstances which were awful, I was very happy that I got to go to Afghanistan and that I didn't have hindsight being 2020. And I wish it had been Iraq. I think we would have fared a little bit better if we actually went to the place that we had trained to go to. But but we did good things in Afghanistan too. And I don't regret going there by any means. So and then of course uh, the guys that I went with are, to this day, my best friends. I had the opportunity to go reconnect with a lot of them a few weeks ago. We had a reunion, and it was the first time I'd seen those guys in 15 years. I got back from Afghanistan in July of 2009. We went through some reintegration classes, and then October of 2009, or not 2009, excuse me, 2010. And then in October of 2010, I got PCS to Fort Carson in Colorado. So I was back home for just a couple of months before I was moving to a completely different state. So I didn't get to see them a whole lot. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with them after I got home before I left them and didn't see them again in 15 years. And I did get to reconnect with a lot of them, and it was really what's the word I'm looking for? It was really profound. I say that word a lot. How how we picked everything up. It's like we hadn't seen each other in 15 years, and we show up to this place and it's been 15 years. And 15 years ago, we were in the prime, prime condition. We were all super fit, super healthy, um, very athletic. And we get there and all of us are old men now and we're all old. A lot of us have put on a little bit of weight, and none of us are in particularly great shape. Um, but we picked it up like it had been 15 minutes. I started hanging out with the guys, and it was like the last time we saw each other was yesterday. It did not feel like it had been 15 years. The bonds of friendship that you forge in those circumstances are unbreakable. They are infallible. They can't be diminished over time. There no amount of time can change that. I'm Harley Quinn. What? What is that supposed to mean? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Hanako. Um, is that Harley Wink? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but um, so yeah, I got to see them again. I got to spend some time with them. I got to talk to them about what happened in Afghanistan. Not like I was 15 years ago, Hanako. I was. Uh-oh, are we gonna lose the stream? This is a good dinner video. Good, I'm glad. Enjoy your dinner. What you having? What you eating? Anything good? So your talking made me eepy. Well, go to bed. You don't have to hang out. You don't have to stick around. I can manage. I know you want to, and I want you to, but I can manage. If you're tired, go get some sleep. I lost my train of thought. Chicken katsu. That sounds so good. Yeah, I had a couple of chicken taquitos for dinner, and it probably should have had a little bit more, something a little bit healthier. Um, excuse me. But yeah, so like I was saying, the friendships that you forge in those types of situations, in those adverse situations, are unbreakable. Excuse me. And we got to talk and catch up. And there was stuff that I'd forgotten about, and the guys were talking about it. And it's like, oh man, yeah, damn, dude, I forgot all about that. That was really cool. That was really fun. What did we eat in the war? Okay, so most of it really depends. Um, there were we had a dining facility on our fob, and they did serve 4 hot meals a day. Um, and so if you happened to be at the fob during mealtime, you could go in there and you could eat there. And it was they served a variety of stuff. Every night at midnight, they had a sandwich bar. You could go in and you can make yourself a cold cut. They had a variety of meats and vegetables and breads and stuff like that. You just go in there and make yourself a cold cut. And then they served breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And those were pretty typical meals. When we were in the field, we had either we had one of three options. Most of the time we ate MREs. So MREs are meals ready to eat, and they come in a bag, and they're essentially canned goods stuffed into little pouches, and they are nasty. They're awful. Um, they're designed to never expire. You could bury an MRE in your backyard and go dig it up 50 years later, and it would still be edible. But they are so gross. And then they had um, I can't remember what they were. They M rats. I think they were M rats is what they were called. It might have been something else. I can't remember, but essentially they were big MREs that could feed an entire squad. And so they'd be these giant pouches of powdered eggs and hash browns, for instance. And they would stick these pouches that had a metallic lining in them. They'd stick them in hot water, and they'd let it get hot, and then they'd take it out of the hot water, open it up, and scoop it onto your plate, and called that a hot meal. And they were just as bad as the MREs because they were essentially the same thing. And then every once in a while, they would uh they would bring us hot meals in steamers in they called them mermites. Powdered eggs, tons of powdered eggs. I ate so many powdered eggs while I was in the military, you wouldn't even believe. And they're freaking they were horrible. They always tasted like rubber. Um, but every once in a while they would bring us hot food directly from the chow hall, directly from the dining facility, and they'd put them in these boxes called mermites, and they would actually bring them out to us in the field. So every once in a while we would get real food, but for the most part we ate military rations, and occasionally we would eat um, the local cuisine. So in Afghanistan, um, their entire diet is kind of centered around this bread that they make. It's this flat bread, and they use it for everything. That's essentially your plate when you eat. And so, at dinner time, you'd sit around a big cloth on the ground, and everybody would get a piece of bread, and then they'd put two or three bowls of this kind of slurry stuff in it, and you just rip off a piece of your bread, and everybody would eat out of the same bowl. You dip your bread in it and scoop up some meat and vegetables, and it was really, really good. But there was this guy that set up a little shop near one of our outposts, and he sold essentially I don't know if you'd call them sandwiches. They were kind of like a gyro, but he'd take that flat bread and he'd put meat and stuff inside it and then fold it over on itself like a pita. And he sold those for like 60 cents a piece. Everything in Afghanistan was super cheap, by the way. What if you're vegan? If you're a true vegan, don't join the military. You're not gonna they're not gonna accommodate you. If you're a vegetarian, however, they will accommodate a vegetarian diet. When you're in a military operational environment, you don't typically have the opportunity to be as picky with food because your nutrition cannot be neglected. Like, you need tons of calories, you need tons of proteins, you need tons of carbohydrates. You need stuff that is going to be really difficult for you to get on a vegan diet, on a truly vegan diet. And when I was in Afghanistan, I was consuming 5 to 6 thousand calories a day. Your voice is soothed. Thank you, Hanako. I appreciate that. I was consuming 5 to 6 thousand calories a day. Uh, and you gotta you gotta get those calories, you gotta get those nutrients as efficiently as possible. So the human body is not designed to be vegan. It is designed to be omnivorous. And we because of our lifestyle and because of technology, we are able to stray away from that for whatever reason that you might want to stray away from that. But when you're in that situation, you don't have the look. Um, and you got to make do with what you got. So if you're vegan and you are not willing to, stray away from that at all, you're not going to make it. At least back then. I don't know. It may have changed since then. I know they're trying to, be more progressive in that regard, and they were starting to have a kosher and halal MREs made and stuff like that. So they were trying when I was getting out. I'm sure they've made progress since then. A lot of things changed in the couple of years before I got out of the military. So, and they were changing, continued to change quite a bit after I left, and I did not keep up. So, I don't know about today, but in 2009, it wasn't going to happen. So, thank you for the question, though. I really do appreciate that. Will they send you back if you don't cooperate with the food? Eventually, yes. Okay, so something that they don't tell you, and again, everything that I say is from this is from 15 to 20 years ago. I joined the Army in 2006. So if you're a more recent veteran and I say something that you disagree with, bear in mind that this is not recently. Um, so when you join the Army, and you're in basic training, the first 6 months or so that you're in the military, you're in kind of a probationary period. And if you just don't fit in. If say you go to basic training and you don't eat, at first they're not going to care. At first they're not going to care, and then they're going to start to care, and then they're going to try to force you to eat. Then they're going to punish you for not eating. Then they're going to punish you for not listening to them when they told you to eat. And then if none of that works and you still won't eat, then eventually, yes, they will chapter you out of the military for what they call failure to adapt. And when you get chaptered out of the military in the first 6 months of your contract for failure to adapt, it's essentially like you were never in the military at all. You don't get any of the anything. There's like not even, I mean, technically there's a record that you were in, but it's not the same as a record of somebody who was actually in the military and got chaptered out. So, hi, Star. Welcome in. Just hanging out, talking about Afghanistan a little bit. It's good to see you. But Jazz, thank you so much for your questions. I really appreciate it. It keeps the conversation going, gives me something to talk about, gives me fresh ideas, and hopefully sates a few of your curiosities as well. I love being able to answer questions. That's what I'm here for. That's why I started the channel. Hanako, you wanted to say something? What's up? Go ahead and say whatever you want. You're in the Discord. You can talk if you want to. Oh, but Star's here. Okay. Um, but yeah, I started this channel because people were asking me questions. People in other VTuber communities, people in my own community, were asking me questions, and it's like, you know what? If people are really that interested in this, then I'd love to talk about it. People have questions. I'd love to hear it, and I'd love to try to answer. Well, thanks for popping in, Star. I do appreciate it. So always love having you. Always love seeing you, hearing from you. So it's good to see you. So and when I was in basic training, I had to get a waiver to join the military because I was tiny when I joined the military. I was 5'9" and a half, almost 5'10", and I weighed 118 pounds. So I was just a little tiny dude. When I Don't worry, Hanako, if Doc's still alive, I'll come back later. Well, we look forward to seeing you, Star. We'll be live for a little while. I'm gonna chat for a little bit, and then we're gonna hop into a game. So, but I was tiny. I had to get a waiver because I was too skinny. According to my height and weight, I had to weigh at least 120 or 121 pounds to be able to join the military, and I weighed in at 115. My recruiter took me out for lunch every single day, after I graduated from high school, to try to fatten me up so that I could join the Army. And when I got to basic training, I was still a little bit underweight. And they put me on what they call forced nutrition double rations, which means every single meal they gave me 2 servings of everything on the plate, and I had to sit with the drill instructors while they watched me eat every single bite. Meanwhile, everybody else is trying to shovel as much food down their gullet as they possibly can in about 3 minutes or less. So that made basic training really miserable for me. For one reason, because doing physical training after eating a double portion of breakfast is not even remotely fun. And two, because there was some animosity between myself and my basic training mates because I was getting to eat and they weren't. So it was pretty brutal. Now about halfway through basic training, I did weigh in over 121 pounds, and they were able to take me off of forced nutrition double rations, um and and that was fine. Except then I started running into some other problems, and I actually almost didn't make it through basic training because of it. Because I'd be sitting there trying to shovel food down my throat, and I choked. And my one time I choked, we were in the field and they weren't even rushing us. Typically, when you're in the field, you have more time to eat. You're eating MREs; they take longer to eat. You can't just shovel them down your throat. So they typically don't rush you as much when you're eating in the field. And I was eating beef stew with vegetable MRE, and I choked on a piece of the meat. And it was like the third or fourth time that I had choked on a meal while I was in boot camp. And my senior drill sergeant ended up having to do the Heimlich maneuver on me, and then they had to send me to the hospital to get some X-rays done to make sure that he didn't break anything when he did it. And they almost were going to chapter me out of the they I say they almost chaptered me out of that's not true. They didn't almost chapter me out of the military, but they did mention it as a possibility. So that was kind of scary. And after that, they tended to give me a little bit more grace. Um, but by then we were almost done with uh, basic training of an issue. So I did end up graduating with my class in December of 2006. So it all turned out. I ran into my drill sergeant actually a few years after that at JRTC, and that's when I learned that the drill sergeants are really, really gifted actors. So basic training is completely different today than it was 15 years ago. Like they have a completely different approach to how basic training is supposed to work. Um, oh yeah, I could talk about this stuff all night. Um, so today it's supposed to be more structured, more educational, more um, confidence and team building. Um, 15 years ago, it was break you down and then build you back up. And that was a tradition, a necessity that dated back to the Vietnam War. So you had three drill sergeants running the platoon, and they had one they called the light, one they called the heavy, one they senior drill sergeant who was in charge of it all. And your senior drill sergeant, you didn't really interact with very much. He was kind of just always there. And then your heavy drill sergeant, he was the asshole. He's the one that would always be yelling and throwing shit and making people do push-ups. And then you had your light drill sergeant, who was like the one that you wanted to make him proud. He was the one that was his job was to teach. And I remember like when the heavy would get pissed off and he'd toss the barracks and he'd scream and he'd yell and he'd make us do push-ups, we'd grumble about it, but we'd do it and it didn't really matter. But I remember one day we fucked up and our light drill sergeant sits down and it was basically like when your parents sit down with you and say, "Son, we're not mad at you, but we're really disappointed." And it's just that was more soul crushing than anything the heavy ever did to us. Well, I met my heavy drill sergeant a few years after that, and I that's when I found out that it was all an act. Like good cop, bad cop. Yeah, kind of, kind of. So when when I met him, this is the guy that like called you the worst names that you've ever heard. He's the one that would say things like scream at you in your face these absolutely dehumanizing and demoralizing things like, the best part of you ran down the crack of your mother's ass and ended up as a brown stain on the mattress. Like he was awful. And I met him a few years later. Were people secretly gay? When I joined the military, I'll get to that in a second actually. The secretly gay thing I will get to in a second. But, I ran into him a few years later at JRTC, and he was the kindest, sweetest, most gentlest guy I've ever met in my life. Well, maybe not ever in my life, but considering I remember him being a monster, the fact that he was as cool as he was really fucked me up. It was really weird to see it. Anyway, the secretly gay thing. As a matter of fact, yes. So when I joined the Army in 2006, Don't ask, don't tell was still very much was still in effect, and you were allowed to be gay and be in the army as long as you didn't tell the army that you were gay. But the army wasn't allowed to ask if you were gay. So if the army asks if you're gay, then the army could get in trouble. You could actually they could actually get in trouble for that. So that's why they called it don't ask, don't tell. When I was in the army, don't ask, don't tell was repealed, and four guys in my platoon that same day came out of the closet, and we were all blown the fuck away. Like, holy fuck, I never would have guessed. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared that these guys were gay, but it was just like, which is kind of weird in and of itself, considering like it's almost a culture of homophobia at the time. But these guys came out of the closet as gay, and a few more of them have come out since then. So um, so yeah, that it was absolutely a thing, and I was actually in the military when that rule was repealed, and a lot of my friends that I never would have suspected of being gay came out as being gay, and it's like, God damn, I never would have guessed. I never would have guessed. So, yeah, that was the thing. Um, wow, I'm getting a lot of feedback on this. I'm really glad you guys are enjoying this. I'm having a lot of fun too. It's kind of nice to talk about this stuff. I haven't talked about this stuff in a long time, so this is awesome. I'm loving this. So keep it up. You guys are great. Wow, we've been chatting for 45 minutes already, man. Doesn't feel like it's been that long. When did I become a yapper? I've always been a yapper, Hanako. You know that. Actually, no, you don't know that because when you first met me, I sat in the corner and just listened. Kind of funny.
Oh hell the fuck no you ain't.
She used to get
Then
scared because I would
silently
sit
in the
there and
corner
not say anything.
menacingly listens to me.
What kind
Dead
of
silence. I'm just like, brother, are you good? He's just like, yeah, I'm listening to you. I'm just like,
well,
you're creeping me out. You're scary.
well, I was still getting a feel for things at the time. What kind of perks do you get after you graduate? Are you talking about after you graduate from basic training or after you get out of the military? Because after you get out of basic training, you don't get anything. Um, but after you get out of the military, there are quite a few benefits that you're eligible for just for being in the military, and there's quite a few benefits that you can apply to become eligible for after you get out of the military, and a lot of those depend on where you live. For instance, where I live, I can get free or reduced hunting and fishing permits. Um, I'm eligible for reduction in my vehicle, my the taxes on my vehicles every year. I haven't applied for it. I don't need it. It's one of those things that you kind of ask for it if you need it, and you're eligible for extra help because you're a veteran. I know there are some places that depending on the nature of your status or if you were, for instance, if you were combat wounded or if you were a POW, you can go to state or you can go to college in those states absolutely for free without having to utilize your education benefits. But your education benefits are really good too. So I was in the military. It was the Montgomery GI Bill was the educational benefit. Then it changed to the post 9/11 GI Bill, and then now it's the forever GI Bill, but essentially it's all the same. I mean, the Montgomery GI Bill, it doesn't really matter because like it's gone. But the post 9/11 GI Bill it essentially works where you get X number of dollars every semester for tuition. So essentially, Uncle Sam pays your tuition, and they pay that directly to the school. They also cut you a check every semester for books and supplies. There's that word again, Hanako. You see that? There's that word again. Vibe. Do we give off that vibe? Do we give off that vibe, Jazz? I have to chuckle because you're the sixth or seventh person who has who's used that exact word to describe us even before we started dating. But yes, we are an item, if you will. So she's my yandere um, snow leopard VTuber girlfriend. So and
Why is it so small? What the fuck?
um, but the college benefit essentially they pay for your tuition up to a certain dollar amount. They give you a stipend every semester for books, and they pay you a cost of living allowance every month that you are actively enrolled as a full-time student. So, and I think it's like $1,200 a month or something like that, that they give you just to pay for your cost of living while you're a student. So the educational benefits by themselves are worth. You're also eligible for medical benefits, early retirement. You're prioritized for certain federal jobs. For instance, if I was to apply as a veteran, if I was to apply for the post office, they have to hire me like automatically. That's not a widely known fact, but if they don't have a job for you, then they have to find one. Um, so there's a lot of benefits that you can get, and that's not to mention the private stuff. A lot of places will offer a discount. A lot of veterans don't claim the discount. I, for one, don't do it. I don't like to walk into a place and say, "Hi, I'm a veteran. Give me my 10% off my meal." It makes me feel icky. So I don't like to do that. But a lot of places do offer it. I know the Home Depot and offers a pretty substantial veteran discount. Lowe's offers a pretty substantial veteran discount. Things like that. So there's a lot of benefits, but the biggest one is definitely the educational benefits. I don't know if it's worth it. If you're joining for just the benefits, I probably wouldn't recommend it, but um, they are nice to have if you join for other reasons. My God, I remember this one time my mom went to Home Depot looking for a man. I lost my ex in a casino looking for a man, huh? How what? Okay. I think there needs to be, I guess there needs to be a story here. I don't want to get too into it. Uh, but essentially, so the woman that I was with when I got out of the military came back to my hometown with me. We both moved together back to where I grew up, where my family was. And my first job after I got out, while I was still finishing things up and trying to get on with the EMS service, I worked in she saw it on the news and left. God damn, that's awful. You know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. Um, so so yeah, my first job was I worked in casino security. It was my first job after I got out of the army, and I did that for a little while until I was able to get on with EMS services and work on the ambulance, which was a really cool job. Um, but my partner at the time, she had a really hard time finding a job, and she ended up actually eventually landing a job at the same casino where she met a guy, and um, yeah. Anyway, I think y'all can fill in the blanks and figure out the rest of the story, right? That's okay. If she hadn't, then I wouldn't have ever met you, so I don't mind. Yes, she cheated. She cheated for about 6 months and then canceled the lease on our house without telling me about it, and, uh, and took off with him, went to live with him, and left me with nothing. I moved back in with my parents for a few months before I was able to get out again and out on my own. 'Cause working at the casino didn't pay shit. It was awful. It was fun, but it was not a good job. Is this the longest? No, no. The longest relationship was the one that I was my most recent one, before I met Hanako. Um, what a scallywag! That's not what scallywag means, Jazz. Scallywag typically means just a mischief maker, usually a comic mischief maker. Um, I wouldn't call myself scallywag if it was a derogatory thing. My longest relationship was 7 years. Started dating in 2015, no, 2017. So it wasn't 7 years. It's 2017 to 2022. So 5 years. I can think of a name of a name for it that starts with S. That would be fitting though. Oh boy, how did I meet Hanako? So I am the yeah, we'll allow that one. Um, oh, I didn't mean to block that. I'm sorry, my bad. I meant to allow it and I clicked block on accident. Uh, I don't know if you can fix that, Hanako. Um, hang on, I got an alarm going off for some reason. So I am the manager of a group of VTubers called Apokai. And we're a an organization of almost 20 talents. I'm not one of the talents. I don't meet the requirements to be a member of Apokai, but I am a manager of it. And Hanako here is one of the talents. So I met her through a poke eye. We started working together quite a bit. She was initially kind of scared of me because I didn't say much. I just kind of sat there. Yeah, you are staff now. You were not staff at the time. If you want to tell the story, get in here and tell it yourself. That's what I thought. So, so we started talking a little bit, or more. She was talking and freaking out because I wasn't talking. and and my our owner, our manager, who was in here at one point in time, Pink Wonderland, was kind of egging us on. She picked up right away that there was a bit of a spark there. I denied it. I was like, no, no. First of all, I don't do long distance relationships. Second of all, there's a little bit of an age difference. Third, I don't even know if I like her. I'm really not looking for a relationship. You know, all the normal bullshit excuses that people come up with when they're in denial. And so she was still kind of egging us on, trying to get us to admit to each other and to ourselves that there was definitely something there. And finally one day she pulls me into a private chat room and she says, "Look here, dumbass. It's like, you're a fucking idiot. You obviously like Hanako, like a lot. And she couldn't be more obvious about her feelings about you. So y'all need to sit down and y'all need to have a talk." And we did. We sat down in the Discord voice chat for what was it, 6 or 7 hours, just going back and forth, before I finally said, "You know what? I'm I've been an idiot. I do like you. I think that you like me. Do you want to see where this goes?" And and she said, "Yeah, of course. I want to see where this goes." And so we saw where it went, and it's things progressed, and now here we are. I wasn't even a streamer at the time. She's actually responsible for that too. She bullied me into becoming a VTuber. Her and Pink teamed up on me. And yeah, exactly. And the rest was history. Her and Pink teamed up on me, and I had once again pulling out all the excuses. I don't know how to work OBS. Well, we can show you. Okay, I don't have a model. Hanako bought me one. Um, like they were very persistent, and I wouldn't be here chatting with all of you if they hadn't been. So I reluctantly thank them for that and for this opportunity. So it's definitely been a journey. It's definitely been an adventure, and I am having so much fun. You wouldn't even like words can't even describe. So yeah, Hanako is awesome. Pink is awesome. But Pokai is awesome. Everybody's just wonderful, and we're having a good time. Anyway, any more questions before we try to play a game? Is an anime pro tag with a harem? I did have several yeah, there were a couple of times where things got kind of interesting with some of the members of a Pokai, yeah. But I'm not gonna tell that story. I'll let Hanako tell if she wants to, because she's better at that one than I am. Who was your buddy in the war? I had a bunch of buddies in the war. You have to be more specific. And obviously I'm not gonna give names. Nicknames maybe, but not actual. Um, oh, don't ask me to pick a favorite. There was one guy that I was probably a bit closer to. Um, I was pretty badly abused, physically abused by one of my leaders prior to deploying to Afghanistan. He just had it out for me for some reason, and he would take me off to where nobody could fucking see us, and he would shit out of me. Um, and this guy was like, he found out about it. He stood up, he tried to stand up for me, and then he started getting abused as well. And long story short, the NCO that was responsible for it did eventually get kicked out of the military. But that um process kind of made us did tend to make us a little bit closer. We weren't in the same platoon. By the time I deployed, I'd gotten moved to a different platoon, so I wouldn't say that we were super close through the war. But who do I got? Nobody's gonna get murdered. It's fine. Everything turned out fine. The story has a happy ending. He's it all turned out okay. But but yeah, because of that experience, him and I were particularly close, and we went through the deployment. It was a pretty rough deployment. We deployed. We had 44 guys in my platoon when we deployed. And by the time we came back, um, there was only 29 of us left, and three of them came back with fewer parts than. So our deployment was pretty tough. And you go through something like that, and you get close. Like when you go through something like that with a group of guys, um, the guys that you come back to, there is a bond there that transcends anything that you could experience without it. They make movies about it. They write books about the bonds of brotherhood forged in the fires of war. And it sounds cheesy and it sounds cliche, but they don't do it justice. They don't. Like when I when I say, do I still talk to any? I still talk to a lot of them. Um, I still talk to a lot of them uh pretty frequently, actually, and even more so now. Like I said, we had big reunion a few weeks ago where we all got back together, and we did some um coping classes, some group therapy sessions, and some activities. Uh, like we went to a NASCAR, an official NASCAR team garage, and we got to do pit crew races. That was pretty cool. Got to change the tires and fuel um, on a NASCAR, and see who could do it the fastest. And I think the fastest time that we managed was 19 seconds, which is about twice as long as it takes the professionals. So, but yeah, we're still all really close. And even the ones that I hadn't talked to in 15 years, like I said, when we showed up for this reunion, it was like it had been 15 minutes. We picked up right where we left off. Like nothing had changed. So, I'm still really close to a lot of them. And I'm close to a lot of the guys that I served with that I wasn't in Afghanistan with. After I got back from Afghanistan, I was transferred to Fort Carson in Colorado, where I ended up in an entirely different unit. and I made pretty good friends with those guys too. And we were supposed to go back to Afghanistan in 2012, but the deployment got canceled because in 2012 they drew back the uh, the presence in Afghanistan. We transitioned from being a combat force to more of a oh, what's the word? Not occupational force, peacekeeping force. So we weren't our combat operations in Afghanistan got dialed way back in 2012. So we didn't end up actually I didn't end up actually going back. Uh, and then I got out of the military shortly thereafter that. Good evening, Atsunashi. It's good to see you again. Welcome in. Doing well, doing well. Just a couple more war stories tonight. Trying out some new settings in OBS to try to see if maybe we can keep a stream alive for longer than 5 or 10 minutes. It seems to be doing better. I assume it's doing better. How are we looking? How are we looking, everyone? Is it shiny? Is it good? I think we're doing better tonight. So, but it's good to see you again. Welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Oh, I love you too, Hanako. Looks great. Been fine for me. Only been here a few minutes. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. It's good to see you. Glad you were able to make it in. So, yeah, we're just hanging out, answering questions from chat, telling stories about the war, and a little bit about my history and Hanako and I's history, and we're just hanging out, having a good time, just chatting a little bit. So, having fun. You missed the whole spiel about how we. I think Atanashi's heard how we met. I could be wrong, but I think they were here for that part. Just doing Friendsgiving and ate so much you and might not be fully sober. Man, that's okay. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it. Very aggressive. What's very aggressive? What's very aggressive, guys? Why is the chat so delayed? I don't know. I haven't been able to figure that out. Um, I know it's typically delayed a little bit anyway, but it does seem like it's longer. Your friend that made y'all talk, Pink. Yeah, yeah. She's like that. She likes to play matchmaker. She likes to get into people. She likes to meddle. It's not too badly delayed. Okay. I don't know. No, we were not looking for relationships. I'd kind of sworn off relationships for a long time. But before I met Hanako, I had been single, voluntarily single for over 2 years. So single and not even remotely looking. So you were in denial. Yes, yes, we know. We know I was in denial. I didn't want it to be true, but here we are. And I'm good with it. I'm happy that things turned out the way they did. I've I don't want to sound cliche, but the last few weeks have been the best few weeks in the last several years. Sometimes you can find the best relationships when you're never looking and don't expect it. That is the truth. In fact, I think somebody said that in my chat the other day. Doc is a great dude, and I'm glad you sorted him out, Hanako. Yeah, I'm glad she sorted me out too. I needed sorted out. I needed a good tongue lashing there. But I do appreciate the praise. I do my best. So anyway, are you guys ready for some 7 Days to Die? You guys ready to see if this Twitch integration works and how badly you can ruin my life in the post-apocalypse? Or do you guys want to keep talking about the war? Because I can talk about the war until tomorrow morning. I don't care. Or anything for that matter. It doesn't even have to be the war. We can talk about VTubing. We can talk about a Pokai. We can talk about me and Hanako. It don't matter to me. I'm easy. I ought to be ashamed of myself, but I'm a degenerate too. So Game time? All right. Let's get it set up then. You have a VRC meetup early morning. Yeah, it'll be way after shift or after shift after stream though. So, and I don't even have to go, and I I may or may not go. I don't know. We'll see. And I certainly don't have to stay if I do go. So you work? Yeah, I work a shift tomorrow, but it's okay. It'll be fine. It's still early. Excuse you? What do you mean excuse you? Make sure Doc takes care of himself. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. She does. She threatens to hit me with a shoe if I don't eat. Hi, Apollo. How you doing, big guy? I know you are, Doc, but let her take care of you. I'll think about it. She does take care of me. She takes better care of me than I deserve. That's for sure. You're in the VC. If you've got something to say it. I love you too, Hanako. You're the best. You really are. Scared my dog off. Don't know where he went. He just ran out. He just ran out of the room. Nah, you're good. I've seen what the strays are capable of. I'm a little bit scared. I've been a part of it. Done a little bit of bullying as a stray myself. This is us because we can't sleep. You can't sleep for shit. I'm just fine at sleeping. I have no problem sleeping. We are almost there. It's game's loading up, so it'll be just a second and we should be ready to go. Probably should have gone to the bathroom while this was doing this. In fact, I might do that anyway. Chad, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I will be back. Just a minute. All right. We are back. Let me get the audio set up. Audio is set up. Okay. I get the privilege to remind folks how awesome they are, and you're on my list, Doc. Thanks for everything you've done, and I genuinely hope you have an amazing time streaming. Thank you, Atanashi. I appreciate it. You are awesome as well. Really appreciate it. Nope, I don't have eyes. That's why I'm so bad at gaming. All right, so the Twitch integration is set up. I think. Just a sec. I figure out how. It's not wanting to do the thing. Just saying connection. I'm back. What I miss? We're just getting the Twitch integration, trying to get the Twitch integration set back up in 7 Days to Die. Just bully Doc with your love, Hanako. He's good at that. Not wanting to connect. Not sure why it's not wanting to. Gonna go to bed. Have a great rest of the stream. Thanks, Atanashi. Have a good night. Hmm. Doc, question. Go for it. What's up? Not wanting to work. Try something real quick. What's your question, Hanako? Would you want your emotes to be the style of my wave for all of them or detailed like my laugh and stuff? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't thought about it. I'll have to look into emotes a little bit more before I decide that. It's not gonna work, guys. It's not wanting to work. We may have to just do without. Let's see one more. Practice stream. All right, appreciate it. Appreciate the lurk. Well, it doesn't look like it's wanting to work. So I will have to mess with it off stream. We'll have to do without tonight. I'm going to change that real quick. Okay. Thanks for dropping in, Jazz. Hope we see you soon. Okay. All right. Everything else looks good. Looks like adjusting those settings really helped get everything set up, get everything running again. I don't remember how to get out of my house. I hope this doesn't blow up. That would be awkward. Yeah, we'll tear that down when we have better tearing down gear. Cut down some trees. Taco is saying to go easy on you. That doesn't sound very much like Taco. Is she okay? Yeah, an old man. She's not wrong. I'm not brand new. I see you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Damn, Hanako, go easy on the old... What were you doing? Zombie VR games scare the shit out of you? Yeah, I've only played one zombie VR game, and that was Arizona Sunshine, and it wasn't super scary. It was mostly action. Yes, yes, I know. Beautiful. I know. That does not sound like something Taco would ever say under any circumstances. Ever. Yeah, that could have something to do with it. Although I don't know. Oh, look. A little thirsty. I really need to find a cooking pot or water's gonna become an issue. So I think we're gonna go do some more scouting. After I do some of these free experience points missions. And nice little pond here. Kind of like that. Try to find some rocks. Ooh, there's a bag here. Let's see if there's anything good in it. A bone. A freaking bone. What the fuck am I gonna do with a damn bone? Ooh. It's not that it's hard to find. Clean water is hard to find. Dirty water is not terribly hard to find. And it's not hard to collect either. If you can get some scrap polymers, you can make a dew collector. And you can collect dirty water. But if you drink dirty water, it'll make you sick. So I need a way to purify my water. So I need a cooking pot to do that. I'm gonna go fuck this old man up more. Leave him limping. What the fuck? I mean, that's more what I would expect from Taco, but why the 180 there? I didn't say that. I made no comments about that. I was just curious why she shifted gears on us all of a sudden. That's all. That's all. That's fine. He was being nice. Fair. Need to make cobblestone. Well, in any case, welcome back to the stream. It's good to see you again. And congratulations on becoming a Pokai staff. If congratulations are in order, I'm not sure. It might be condolences. One of those words that starts with C. I made who cry? You're making me out to be some kind of monster. I'm not. I'm not here to make anybody cry. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was upgrading wooden things. That all looks okay. She's gonna draw you in a dress? I don't care. You think that I never wore a dress before? I have. Yes, as a matter of fact. No, it was not a maid outfit. It was a vintage dress for a candy striper outfit. Most recently. Kind of want to cosplay, huh? Yeah, you know, do it. If you kind of want to do something, you should definitely do it. Give it a try. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. Don't talk yourself out of it. I can tell you what, I regret the things that I didn't do a whole lot more than anything I ever did. Do I have any food? Oh crap, I didn't mean to throw those back up. Wait, why are we beating up Kagu? What did Kagu do? He didn't sleep. Okay. Isn't not sleeping enough punishment? That's lead. I don't need lead. Pretty sure I've already searched that house over there, but I don't think I've searched that building over there, so that's where I'm going to head next. Oh, he lied. Okay, yeah, then absolutely. Yep, he needs his ass beat then. You're taking his balls. Well, can't say I blame you. Oh lord, that's Bob's Boars. We don't want to go there. That place is death. I don't think I have any ammo either. Oh, it's in my pistol. Even if I did have bullets for it, though, I should probably save them. Wait, I have a mission. I have a quest. Probably do that, huh? I also need to build a forge. I forgot to do so many things, chat. I left my brain somewhere else. Taco question, can I say it here, Doc? I don't care. Wood log. How am I going to get a wood log? Cobblestone. Well, we're going to go do this quest and try to gather the rest of the things we need. There's a buried supplies run, so we'll be able to get some good stuff for it. Don't need wood. I've got 1,000. Oh, Lord. What are you girls up to? I'm a little bit worried. That's just going to make me worry about it more, Hanako. This house is death. We're not going in this house. I desperately need a bicycle. Oh, God. Is it an Aeon server? I thought that it was in Reaper's server. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That stung a little bit. Let's not do that. Should get some clay just digging this hole, so that'll help. All my past finished work is in Aeon's Uwu as well. All of the drawings of my character. Okay. What am I doing? I don't do that. Oh, I got some honey. Nice. I don't have any food. That's going to be a problem. I don't know. I'm not very good at this. Probably straight down, huh? Found it. This is the worst buried treasure ever. That is garbage. I feel cheated, chat. There's a chicken up there. "11 feathers, nice." Damn. Close. That was close. I think Doc is worried. Doc is not worried. Maybe a little worried, but not super worried. Oh, you got back up. You don't mind? No, I don't mind. Knock yourself out. Have fun. It's getting dark. I need to hurry up. I don't think I'm going to make it back to the trader tonight, chat. It's okay. I'm sure it won't be that bad. Okay. I hope you're right. should have... So we got the cobblestone now. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it back to the trader. Or... Oh, wait, it's only... Yeah, we might be able to make it. If we haul ass, we might be. Trouble. I need to go. I need to go. I need to stop searching for things and go, because I need to get to the trader before 10 o'clock. Here's a pin cushion, chat. Trader wrecked.
Okay, fucker. You respect the shop rules and we'll get along just fine. Well, come to think of it, I do have a task for a lowlife like you. Don't just stand there with your flash some cash or get lost.
Okay. I don't... Oh, does he have food and drink? He doesn't have a cooking pot. I would have bought a cooking pot. I'm going to need one to get... Doesn't have any drinks. Speak of. He's got some food, but I think I'm going to pass.
Oh, you want a guarantee, huh? Well, maybe you should try Shamway.
Trader Rect is closing shortly, so finish your damn business or come back tomorrow, if you're still alive.
Fuck do I get out of here? Yeah, Hanako, I'm not sure you know what you're asking for. It's okay. It's the spike trap. I'm sure we will. I'm not worried about it. Or at least I'm gonna say I'm not worried about it when we're... Leather, duct tape, and pipe. I don't know if I have any of that stuff. Got some honey, but I don't want to eat this up. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Come here, big fella. Come here. Doing okay. We're doing all right. What are you doing, guy? Can't get in that way, buddy. A pipe. Got plenty of leather. I don't remember what the other thing I needed was. Duct tape. I don't know. I don't see any duct tape. I've got a couple of glues, but not enough to make that much duct tape. Got some food. Take the food out. I need more glue or duct tape. Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Also, when you get off stream, you should check it. Oh, Hanako, you didn't have to do that. I told you I would do that. Good grief. Thank you. It's awfully nice of you. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I guess that's fair. Still, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Gonna read bedtime stories to tiny humans. All right, have a good night, Taco. Thanks for dropping in, and we will see you around. It'll be morning soon. We just need some duct tape, and I'll be able to build a forge. But I desperately need food and water. So we're gonna have to scout for that in the morning. Okay. I think I got a skill. That's all right. We don't need it. This is not the best tool for this job, but it's all I've got right now. And we've got some time to kill before the sun comes, so it's okay. All right. Start making our way slowly to the next mission objective because it is pretty far away. And if we're careful, it'd be fine. Just a little to the left. There's that level up. Hi, Hanako. How are you? Well, probably clear this PI. See where we're at. I think might do a shorter stream tonight.
open for business. Direct or get wrecked.
Gonna zip down this way. We're going back to the mushroom cave, so shouldn't be too bad. We're in a little bit better place than we were last time we tried it. Hi, Sadkin. Welcome back. We're doing all right. We tried to get Twitch integration on 7 Days to Die to work, but it just didn't want to connect, so we're just kind of hanging out. How's your night going? Or day, wherever you're at. Oops, probably shouldn't have done that. There you are. So we're going to go back to the mushroom farm, where they leave you in the dark and feed you nothing but bullshit. Kind of like the army. Found some glue. That's what we needed. We'll be able to build a forge when we get home. It's fertilizer. I don't need fertilizer. Probably grab some of these mushrooms. Nothing else, I can eat them raw without getting dysentery. And it will keep me from starving to death. Oh. I don't see you there, big fella. It's alright. Take a little nap. You'll be okay. Sleep it off. Yeah, I'll mess with it after stream. Maybe tonight, or I'm not streaming tomorrow, so maybe I'll take a look at it tomorrow at some point. That did it. We'll get it up and running. It's just not going to be today. Glad to hear you're doing well, though. Oh, good grief. This being thirsty and hungry is really screwing me up. Don't have enough stamina to fight. Well, when's the last time you checked your posture, Hanako? As I sit here all shrimped up. First down there, maybe. Sometimes you find good things in here. Like a gun. Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. What I tell you, sometimes you find good things. Have any ammo in it? Of course it doesn't have any. More murky water. I'll have plenty of water once I get a damn cooking pot. We'll keep up the good work. Glad to see you enjoy streaming. Thank you. I am having a lot of fun. I appreciate that. I appreciate the encouragement. And I hope you all are enjoying it as well. My stealth skills are awful. I should probably invest in ability. Alright. Oops. Perfect. So that could have gone smoother, but realistically, it could have gone a lot worse too. These tier 1 POIs are pretty easy. Hear you. There you are. There's not, that's not you. Still a problem that needs to be dealt with. Okay, mission complete. Got them all. Heck junkie book. That's okay. Got some arrowheads. Medical supplies. Working stiff and a backpack. Not a whole lot, but it's a tier 1. What do you want? What do you expect? It's never gonna be remember how to get out of here. That's the way I came. That's probably the way. Well, that went pretty well. Look at that. Making me look like I know how to shoot. Hey, Hanako. Hanako, I am wet. What the game says. The stream is a lot more stable tonight, so that stuff that I did in OBS this morning seems to have fixed 80% of my problems, 90% of my problems. Excited about that. Less scuff every stream. I'm loving it. Moving in the right direction. Need some pistol ammo. Let's follow the road, because there's cars and stuff on the road, and sometimes you can find good stuff in the cars. Like food, water. Actually, that's some food. Nappy time. Just chill out, buddy. And magazines. Shotguns. Pipe shotguns quality 2. Nice. I mean, it's okay, I guess. We don't really need pipe shotguns now that we've got the 9mm, though. So it was that setting then? It appears that it was the setting, yeah. I can't say for certain, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I also adjusted the bit rate, so that might have done it. That might have been it, but I'm relatively certain it was the settings. Bone knife quality 2. I don't think I have any bones. Nope. Other than the ones I am actively using, I have no bones. There's a couple of bones. I think you need 6 to make a bone knife, but if I scrap this one, that might give me enough. Yeah, that'll give me enough. What's up, Hanako? Yeah, yeah. The wave, your wave is fine. Here we are back at the trader. We made it. Go us. That's fine. Whatever. Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I mean, my model isn't anything crazy anyway, so it's not like awesome. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. All right, correct.
Get lost, bum.
Look here, asshole. This is probably going to be the best thing. Have any jobs? The buried supplies 391 meters away.
Listen up, jackass. What are you standing there for? Don't you break any of my shit? you're paying double.
What a dick. Can't stand this guy. He does have a cooking pot. I hate spending money on it, but he does have one. Yeah, these sell. Did I sell these? Only 66 gold. Light shotgun or something. It's a gatherer. Interesting.
No refunds. Deal's done. Now beat it, fucker.
I really don't like him. He is a douche. So, what meat is today? Today is burritos. BRC meetup. I don't remember what time all of the staff meetings for Hawkeye are, but I know there's a couple of them either today or tomorrow. Pink missed it. She missed the meeting. Yeah, I didn't pay attention because I was supposed to work today. And I told her that I wasn't going to be at any of them. And she said that was fine. So... I think I might just have to bite the bullet and start eating some of this stuff that's going to make me sick. Yeah, she's had some issues with that lately. Poor thing. Always sick. Hi, little dude. Yeah, I know there's a couple of them tomorrow, but I'll be at work for them. I gotta go to work in the morning, so... Let's see here. 2 honeys. Some dirt. This is gonna all. Yeah, that was an awful sound, but I'm gonna miss you too, hun. It's all right. It's only a few hours. Yeah, 8-hour shift tomorrow. Oh God, what? Oh God, what? Oh. Did you get tacos in SFW work? Is that what you're oh godding about? Oh, that. Okay. Oh, and now I'm stuck in a hole. Stamina regen rate is awful. Sounds like Pink every time I tell her I love her. Oh, this is gonna take forever. I don't have the patience for it. Don't have the patience for it. I need to get water. We're gonna go get some water. I thought there was a river down here. That's not. Quest failed. God damn it. I didn't realize I'd fail the quest if I left. Look, dude, I don't have the energy. Whatever you want, leave me alone. Oh. There we go. Feathers and some eggs. Can't really do anything with those right now. Oh, look. Here's a river. I know they made it to where you can't... I guess you can't drink out of the river anymore? That's dumb. Whoever made that rule never had to survive. I knew they made it to where you couldn't fill up jars in the river anymore, but... Duct tape, nice. But the not being able to drink out of a river when you're dying of dehydration is stupid. Thank you, Hanako. I think you're pretty swell, too. You're my favorite person out of all the people. What are we looking at here? I need drinks.
Watch your back.
Not doing that again. That was a mistake.
You better take this job. Get moving, jackass. This don't pay by the hour.
I don't need shit. Rabbit. Doesn't help that I'm carrying considerably more than I should be. I just want to go home. You're not going to catch me, guy. Forget about it. It's not going to happen. I just want to go home, you know? I want to go back home, and I want to put my stuff away, and I want to build my forge, and I want to be left alone. I also need to get some drinks, because I'm dying of thirst, and it's murdering my stamina and my stamina regeneration, so... That's something that we need to get taken care of, too. Well, hydrate, silly. Oh, wait, different kind of thirst. Wow, sorry. My bad. Wow, that went right over my head. I walked right into that one, huh? God damn it. Chat. She got me, guys. She got me. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Anyway, I'm not embarrassed. You're embarrassed. Stop it. He needs Gengar. All right, fine. We'll give him Gengar. Hang on. That's actually pretty easy. Emotional support Gengar. Alright, let's see here. Those. Maybe those. What do we still need? Leather. There we go. We've got our forge now. Build the bicycle. Close. That's the button. Oh, come on. That's really unfortunate. I was wanting to put that right there. Oh well. Okay. Cool. So let's take those out. That. Stay. That can stay. It's that in there. There was one other thing I wanted. The brass. There's brass. I did. I know. I walked right into that. I was like an idiot. Doesn't look like a very safe spot to put a campfire, but we're gonna let it fly. We're gonna slide anyway. Ooh, 1 of 6. Okay, fine.